Okay, sorry guys. So today we are going to discuss about JQuery and MVC Web API, these things, and we'll discuss how to communicate between these three and how we will use it. Okay, so the same example what we worked on ASP.NET, the school database management, same thing we will work on the same sample application. Okay, the normal way how we follow in our day-to-day life, the same thing I am explaining you guys. Okay, so just create a branch controller and return the view, but don't send any data from here. Okay, normally we have in our models, I think we have already created, no, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an entity framework class. School DB entities. Select entity framework. So guys, wait a minute. So last time also I didn't tell you this one. I will tell now. So three-tier architecture. Anyway, I explained that, but again I will tell you. So three-tier architecture are layered and tier. There is a difference. So layer means logically separating your code. Tier means physically separating your code. Okay, so when you are writing your code, you have to logically separate your code. So all database things you need to separate into one place. Okay, so this example already I have given. So DAL means data access layer. BL means business layer. So normally presentation layer. One more is there. Okay. Any application if you take, these three layers are very important. Okay. So data access layer means all database related activities will be taken here. So database communication. So sending data and receiving data from database, so that things will happen here. Business layer means the data received or sent to database will be handled here, means any formatting required. So user will input data in different formats that has to be converted to the database understandable format and need to send there. If you want to validate something, so he is entering some data that is valid to insert in database or not. So all these things we will validate in business layer. Presentation layer means only the view what we are providing to the end user. Okay, so the view how we are controlling and how we are presenting data to the user, that's what we call as presentation layer. Okay, so these three layers we can define in any project just by using your solution, add, right click on your solution, add new project, go to Windows, here take a class library application, class library C sharp. Okay, I am using, okay, what is my application name? MVC with JQuery, right? I'll just put whatever name you want, you put it. So I am keeping DAL, data access layer. Okay. So I have added, it will give a simple class, just remove it, not required. So now I'm going to add same that model. Instead of adding in my MVC application, I'm going to add it here. Okay, school leave entities. All the stored procedures, all the tables. Okay, as usual, it generated the required files to handle the database activities. The required files got generated. Okay, just keep it aside, not required now to do anything. Now create another class library project. you call it as BL. So it generated again a class not required. Now add new class branch manager. Okay, so whatever branch related operations I will do it here. That is public class branch manager. So you can add a reference to data access layer from here. Add reference and then projects. So this is if you have to add any library already existing on your machine, means in .NET framework you can use this assemblies section. So here framework means already in .NET framework the available DLLs or libraries it will show here, or you can search for something and you can add from here. Okay, and then the projects which are already in your solution you can add it here. So I have one DL. Okay, DAL is there, so I can add it. Same way shared projects, this is some projects which are shared with your current solution. So this is nothing, not much important. And then com components means these are the components they are exist apart from your .NET. Your system will have some components pre-installed, so those components you can add to your solution to support some features. So I can give one example for this. What is there? DTP, DTSP. So flash broker. So this flash is mainly if you are you are developing an web application and you are keeping some flash related things. If you add this, it will automatically asks your browser to install flash. So to support that kind of features you need to add whatever required are uh, the com components from your machine to your project. Okay, so even apart from that, anything recently used, they will be listed here. So now we need this DAL, we are adding that reference to our business layer, that is BL. So that now I can access all my classes inside DAL project. Okay, DAL class library, whatever classes or objects defined there according to their scope, I can access it here. So this is public class. Okay, now public static add branch, void add branch, and then you can add branch. So the class already got created on my data access layer because of that entity framework. So I can use branch, so small branch. So now using school DB entities, DB equal to new school DB entities, DB dot branches dot So entity framework is missing, that's why it is asking. So if something missing, go to manage NuGet packages. From here you browse entity framework and install, select your project and install it. So it got installed now. So now add a branch and then db.save changes. So instead of writing everything in my MVC application, earlier examples, I added the entity framework EDMX file in my ASP.NET MVC models folder. From there directly I used in controller. So that way is good. But normally when we work with large projects, it is not supposed to add in your front end. Front end means MVC application, whatever MVC project you are writing, that MVC project is a front end application. So even though MVC supports the models and everything, the folder structure they create inside your MVC application, it is not advised to keep the database related and business layer related things in the MVC application itself. So separate your code according to your needs. So DAL, data access layer, here you keep all your ADO.NET related operations and entity framework related operations, whatever are there, you just keep in your data access layer. So this project you can keep whatever name. So that can be a class library project and you can keep whatever name you want. Okay. And then business layer is mainly process the objects. Objects means here branch is an object of type branch. So all these objects you need to build this model, you need to build in your MVC application controllers. From there you send it to your business layer. Here it will validate. Validate means so this branch can be validated against few rules. Rules means the branch name should be there and name should not start with some number, something like that. Maybe you might have some rules. So those rules you can implement here, and if every rule is satisfying, then you call your data access layer methods and insert or get the data from R2 database. Okay, so this is the way normally everybody in industry in a developer day-to-day life they follow this approach only. Okay, this is called three-layer architecture. Three-layer means, yeah, rules where you can mention means just here only you write branch dot name dot length equal to 0 or length is less than 5 characters. Just throw some exception from here. Okay, throw some exception, or here only your return type you mention string. Okay, return branch cannot be inserted as branch name branch name does not satisfies the condition. So like this you can return, and it will be front end. You can take care of that. By seeing this message, you can take whatever action you want. Okay, got it? Even data annotation I already told you. So data annotation, if you implement for this, so the regular expression validations are whatever on this branch class, that will automatically take care. Only what you need to do is model. So the data model state is. So there should be some already. The data annotations, if you implement for this branch, it will automatically give you a handle for model state that is valid. Based on that also you can validate and you can return the error. Okay, something like this. So I'm not putting the conditions here. Rules means nothing but conditions. Those conditions can be anything, length of your property name or some regular expression, some format it has to follow, something like that. You can validate all these things. Okay, next. So like this I have implemented add branch. So this is my business layer. Now I have to refer this business layer in my MVC application. Just as usual, right click on the project, add reference solution, and that is BL. Okay, now that reference got added. Now my branch controller is here. Okay, so using BL, that's it, enough for me. Okay, so first we need to get the result right. So I am using static because without initializing the object for this class, I can call this method directly. So this is a good approach in terms of your programming. It will increase performance of your application. Otherwise, you need to create an object for this branch manager, and this branch manager objects will be many on your application. If your application is accessed by some thousand people, every time if you want to execute a method on branch manager, you need to create an object for this branch manager, and the objects in the memory will increase and your application performance will be downgraded. With this, you need not to create any object for your branch manager class, so that there won't be any object on your memory, but the methods will directly execute. So that's the advantage of static methods on your programming. Okay, and you are not supposed to create for everything the static methods. So wherever required, there only. Not void. This is list of branch. Get branches. Okay, return db.branches.toList. So this will return all the branches on my application, on my database. So what I'm going to do is, so this one I don't directly pass the branches, list of branches from here. What I'm going to do is I will create a view for it. Index, let it be add. So this got added. Branches. So what I am going to do is I will add a script tag, text or JavaScript. Okay, so this is JavaScript. jQuery, okay, jQuery added, so no problem. So now dollar function means on loading of this method, okay, unloading of my screen, the view to the page, to the browser, what I want to do. So $.ajax URL you can mention. Before that branch controller is there. So what I'm going to do is public list of branch. So to do this I need to add reference to my data access layer also, because that branch is there in data access layer. So using that, okay, get branches. So this is my simple method. So return branch manager dot get branches. Okay, so this is how I have written my method. So this one I can access through my jQuery. URL you can mention in single quote. So get branches is my method, so it will automatically take care. Method get success. I can write a function that is JSON first. I will try showing what we are getting. Okay, let me run this. So there is some exception in this. So missing after argument list. Okay guys, just a second. This is here, nowhere missed. So dollar ajax success function. That's it. Dollar dot ajax. Okay. Maybe I need to use this. Okay, it is breaking. So some error is coming at this level. Let me check. So result is coming. Yeah, you can see some result is coming. Um, no, let me check once again. Okay. Connection string is missing. So the reference for these connection strings and everything, from where we started execution, from there it will take, not from the class library. So this is to be there in my MVC application, that is there and del, that's why it is giving error. So it has to be somewhere here. Okay, now it will work. Still exception. Maybe this entity framework I need to refer here also. So now there is no issue. The data came. So this is just giving some object that is of type DAL branch. So there is no issue. So all jQuery related issues, how you can debug is just press F12 on your browser. It will open your console, sources, other things. So you go to sources, index, you can see, you can put a breakpoint just by clicking on line number. Okay. If I run this, refresh this page, this is okay. Here it came. So it is converting as some, returning as string. That's a problem. So anyway, this method, whatever we created, this is acting like your web API method. So this kind of things you cannot directly return. What you have to do is you can keep like some string. Okay, we'll have using newtonsoft.json, json dot. JSON dot serializer should be there. Okay, newtonsoft json dot serialization dot. Okay, newtonsoft dot json, json converter dot serialize object, and this object value you can keep this one. Okay, now you can see id, name, sample description. Okay, so this one you can bind on your page. Okay, so I got this JSON. This JSON, if I want to bind to any table or the format whatever I want, I can use it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will prepare some HTML out of it and I will paste it here. Okay, I have a div tag. I'm going to keep id equal to div branches. Okay, leave it like that. So here where branches equal to json dot parse json. Okay, so here you can put your URL if you are familiar. Any URL you can keep. It cannot be action. So this is URL helper in MVC. What it will do is action means for this action it will generate a URL, the corresponding URL. If you see on our page also, that will be converted to some URL. If you see branches by get branches, the URL converted to the branches means the proper URL of your application. Okay, the URL can be anything on your, it can be external resource also. It shouldn't be on your application. It can be something from other websites also. Okay, got it? So any URL, it can be URL from your application, means the other pages are the methods. In MVC application, normally they are methods. Okay, these are action methods. Okay, so yeah, I will give another example. Let me finish this. Okay, so where branches, I got it. Now dollar dot each is a function, branches comma function index comma value. Okay, jQuery is simple, very simple. Okay, instead of for each loop in C sharp, what I am doing is this JSON is converted to, JSON means I already told you a string representation of your objects. So that string also how they represent is a name value pair. Okay, if you see in our alert message, it has given in square brackets, inside that again curly brackets, ID equal to 1, name equal to sample, description is equal to sample branch, like that it has given. So that is how the JSON will be sent from your server or sent to your server. So that JSON is again taken from is converting to local JavaScript object. So local JavaScript object means JavaScript array, it will convert array of objects. So the array of objects in C sharp also, what we do, for each loop we write, and from there we will start using it. Instead of for each in JavaScript, or this is jQuery not JavaScript, in jQuery we have $.each function, and for that on which object you want to perform this each operation. So that is branches. Just now I converted from my JSON output from the method, the URL, Ajax URL, the branches. So this function is to handle the branches. Okay, so this for each loop, it iterates through each object. So this is not for each, here it is $.each. $.each object in branches, you can take the index of the current object or the value of current object. So what I can do is, before this I will prepare where table equal to, I simply write my HTML code inside double quotes. Okay, table tr th, here id, th means table header, name, and then description. Okay, my tr ends here, so I closed it here. Now for each object, for each student object, branch object, I am going to create one row here. Okay, so that row can be again tbl plus equal to tbl plus tr, close this tr, start a td. Okay, here value dot id, the very first thing, and then I close the td. dot name value dot description. That's it. Over. So this for each loop over tbl equal to tbl plus close the table tag. Okay, so far you're done good. Now add this dynamically generated HTML to your div tag. So from JQuery, how we can access is by using ID filter. ID filter, how we can represent using hashtag and then give the div tag ID branches dot. I told you already HTML is a helper. What is the difference between HTML and text? So now I am going to use HTML. So this is table. Okay. So ID is undefined, remaining things came. So maybe ID, small ID or what it is. So ID small ID, that's it. Okay. So for this you can apply some CSS. So I will give some ID here for this. TBL branches. For this I'm going to define some style on my page. Width some 45% I can give. If you want border, we can give border 1px color something and then sorry. Cell spacing. So these CSS, there are many things according to your need. You have to use it. All they cannot be explained even. So now you can see. Okay, like this you can simply call your MVC methods from JavaScript. So what we have done, simply we created our branch manager as well as our data access layer we defined. There we added our entity framework class. Okay, the entities whatever we require, we define everything there. Then we created a branch manager to get the branch details. Okay, from here, and then in our branch controller we just write a method get branches. This is normal C# method. Here just I am returning my branches after converting them into JSON format. This is JSON converted serialized object, means it is converted to JSON format. So this JSON formatted string I can access from my JavaScript. Okay, simply by calling Ajax. So dollar dot Ajax, it will give you the methods to what you need to pass to this method is just URL and then method. Method means what method? So is it a get or post? Okay, so you can use that. Then success. So on a successful execution of this Ajax call, what you want to perform, that you are telling by defining simply a function. For this function, the input is JSON. JSON means the result of that call. So once we execute this particular method, the output of that method will be passed as a parameter for this handle. So this success handle, we call it as success handle. Handle means the function. So this JSON input for this function has to be converted to local object. Okay, so JSON is an object already available, a helper already available in your jQuery. So JSON.parse, this JSON is understandable by all the technologies. So JSON.parse. So this JSON object will be converted to the local JavaScript object. So for that object we are iterating through the branches object. So array. So in this array each element will be processed and we are formatting the output by using simple HTML, that is table tr and td. Okay, any doubts on this or you guys are clear? Okay, I hope you guys are clear. So we will see more examples on this Ajax, okay, from jQuery how we will call. So now we discussed about get. Tomorrow we will discuss about post, means how to add a record from jQuery. Okay, simply calling instead of get, we will put post and we will pass the parameters to the methods. So all these things how we will do, that we will see tomorrow. Okay. Okay guys. Okay, thank you guys. See you tomorrow.